What up, everybody? I'm about to address something that I didn't even think I would have to address. And before any Nintendo fanboys end up losing their shit over this video I'm about to make, I'm going to show you something. Look at that tapestry. Mario poster right there. I mean, if I was to literally film every single wall, I mean, heck, there's some little Mario decor right there. So again, no, I don't hate Nintendo. Make that known right now. As a matter of fact, Nintendo is one of my favorite gaming systems. Although the main gaming system I play is Xbox, but that's only because, quite frankly, either Xbox or PlayStation is the better way to go when it comes to third-party games. Heck, even PC is probably a better way to go. So yeah, at the end of the day, Nintendo has and always will have nothing but their exclusives going for them. Yeah, they may get some good third-party games here and there, but they're never going to have the same level of third-party support as what the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X has. Now, what's this got to do with anything, you might be wondering? Well, for like the past week or two, I've seen nothing but video after video, post after post, and everything from all of these. I'm going to call them Nintendo haters when it's all said and done, because they are so quick to say that the Switch 2 is a failure and everything else, right? Because, oh my gosh, it's not selling like hotcakes during the holiday season. Well, I wonder why. One, the system's not really that old at this point, and because of it not being that old, there's not really a huge library of games for it. I mean, yes, granted, every Switch game is backwards compatible on it, or at least all the best ones anyway are. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, most people who would have even ever wanted a Nintendo Switch 2 more than likely already have a Nintendo Switch. So the whole backwards compatibility aspect is completely irrelevant. You know? So it really boils down to what exclusives does the Switch 2 have that's actually exclusive to the Switch 2 and not also available to get for the regular Switch. And no, I'm not even going to I don't count third-party games like Street Fighter and things like that because quite frankly, you can get those games much, much cheaper on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, and you don't have to worry about that whole keycard bullshit. So there's that going for it, right? You know, you actually feel like you own the game if you get it for the PlayStation 5 or the Series X. So yeah. Or even the regular Switch if there is a regular Switch copy of it. So yeah. Like with the Pac-Man Repack 2, for example. Pac-Man World 2, Repack 2, whatever it's called. It's kind of a weird name. By the way, though, that game you can get physically for the regular Switch for $20, I might add. Or, pay $30 to get a key card just for the Switch 2 edition of it. So yeah, and it's not like Metroid Prime, 4 Beyond or that new Pokemon game where there's also a Switch 2 edition of it. So when you buy the Switch 2 edition, you can still play it on the regular Switch. No, it ain't like that at all. So yeah. But at this point, what does the Switch 2 really have going for it? Well, let's see. It has Mario Kart World, which let's just keep it honest. That's nothing more than an open world wank fest. And quite frankly, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still the better way to go. We're just going to keep it real. It has more battle. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has more battle modes. It definitely has a lot more going for it in terms of the battle modes. It has the traditional 3-lap race, which a lot of people miss. Something that Mario Kart World does not have. I think that's pretty much the main things that people really miss when it comes to what makes Mario Kart 8 Deluxe better. So yeah. Excuse me. And then the other game that the Switch 2 has going for it at this point is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I plan on getting that game eventually whenever I do get a Switch 2. Yes, I am currently saving up for a Switch 2, so I'm not a hater or nothing, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's nothing but a Dynasty Warriors clone. I can't really see too many people wanting to go out and spend $70 on a Dynasty Warriors clone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody who likes Dynasty Warriors, but at the end of the day, that game is very, very repetitive. It's probably one of the most repetitive games out there. Not to mention, it's very mindless when it comes to the combat system. Don't get me wrong, it's whatever to me, but, because it is fun and easy to get used to, but at the end of the day, it's highly repetitive, and I can see why people will get bored with it fast. So, yeah. Then the next one is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is probably going to be the first game I buy when I finally get a Switch 2. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, that game's great and everything, but it's still nothing more than a Mario Odyssey clone with a Donkey Kong paint job. And quite frankly, it's nowhere near as good as what the 3D Donkey Kong game we had on the N64. Like, let's just keep it real, man. That one on the N64 will always be leaps and bounds better. They should have just remade that one. You know, upscaled the graphics and everything and just, yeah, re-release that one. That's what they should have done, but whatever. It is what it is on that. And then, you know, well, what's the other one? Oh, Kirby Air Riders, which I thought was a sequel at first. No, it's just a remake of the original one from the GameCube. Which, don't get me wrong, it still looks like it's better than Mario Kart World, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But at the end of the day, imagine paying $70 for something like that. It's like, I'm for a GameCube game. Maybe a remade one, but still, you're paying $70 for a GameCube game at the end of the day. That's insane. So yeah, but that's, like I said, at the end of the day, regardless what all these Nintendo haters and whatnot want to say, at the end of the day, all Nintendo really has going for is their exclusives. That's how it's always been, that's how it always will be. You know, I can't think of too many people that's actually going to go out and get a Nintendo system for third-party games. Like, for real. But what's this got to do with anything? Because, oh, well, you know, the PS5 is outselling the Switch 2 during the holidays. Oh, you mean to tell me that a system that's been out for a while, that already has a huge lineup of great third-party games to play and a huge, great lineup of first-party games, is outselling a system that just came out and only has like 4 games going for it? What a shocker, man. What is this world coming to? Like, straight up, man. It's like, these Nintendo haters, man, they get so desperate when it comes to how hard they try to reach to say that the Switch 2 is a failure. Don't get me wrong. I definitely don't think it's doing as good as a Switch, and I don't think it's going to do as good as a Switch. Because quite frankly, the Switch 2 does not offer anything new when it's all said and done. Oh, we can play it in 4K, which you're only going to be able to really tell that if you have a 4K TV. If you don't have a 4K TV, then that whole feature is irrelevant. And it's got faster load times. I mean, I'm going to tell you something right now. I've got a Series X, and I used to have an Xbox One before I traded it off. But I'm going to tell you, the only difference I can tell between the two is faster load times. That's it. That is literally the only difference I can even tell between the two. And my nephew, he's got a PS4. Well, he don't have a PS4 anymore because I bought it from him. But he has a PS5. And even they have confirmed that the only difference between a PS5 and a PS4 is faster load times. So the PS5 can be played in 4K. And the PS5 don't sound like an airplane engine. That's the only differences when it's all said and done. So, yeah. But, you know, nonetheless, though, at least the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 offer a bigger lineup of games. Not that the Xbox matters anymore since they wanted to increase the price to the insane amount that they did, but still. Nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, the PS5 has like leaps and bounds more going for it when it's all said and done. So, of course, it's going to outsell the Nintendo Switch 2. You know, that's no shocker. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we have pretty much reached the peak of gaming consoles in terms of what they can handle and what they can, you know, deliver and whatnot. We have reached the peak, okay? Let's just keep it real on that. So, really, what they need to do is stop making new consoles until there can actually be a significant difference between the generations of consoles, like for real. Because again, there's not that much difference between a PS4 or a PS5. There's not that much difference between an Xbox One or a Series X. And there don't seem to be that much difference between a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2. So, yeah. But nonetheless, like I said before, you know, people are jumping the gun a little too quickly to say that the Switch 2 is a failure and everything. I think they need to give it a little bit more time. You know, wait till there's actual some more games worth getting for it and everything. Then if it's still failing, okay, then call it out for being a failure and everything. But right now, these people are just jumping the gun. I'm just going to be honest on that. So, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.